Cyber attacks are increasing day by day, and there are several incidents reporting where people are losing money from their bank accounts without their knowledge. In this video, let's see which methods are used by hackers to break into your accounts and how we can prevent it. First is mobile banking Trojans. These days, you can manage all of your finances from your smartphone. Usually, a bank will supply an official app from which you can log in and check your account. While convenient, this has become a key attack vector for malware authors. Replacing a real banking app with a fake one. The sneakier version is the mobile banking Trojan. These aren't disguised as a bank's official app. They're usually a completely unrelated app with a Trojan installed within. When you install this app, the Trojan begins to scan your phone for banking apps. When it detects the user launching a banking app, the malware quickly puts up a window that looks identical to the app you just booted up. If this is done smoothly enough, the user won't notice the swap and will enter their details into the fake login page. These details are then uploaded to the malware author. Typically, these Trojans also need an SMS verification code to access your account. To do this, they'll often ask for SMS reading privileges during the installation, so they can steal the codes as they come in. So now, how to defend ourselves from mobile banking Trojans? When downloading apps from the App Store, keep an eye on the number of downloads it has. If it has a very low amount of downloads and little to no reviews, it's too early to call if it has malware or not. This goes double if you see an official app for a very popular bank with a small download count. It's likely an imposter. Official apps should have a lot of downloads, given how popular the bank is. Likewise, be careful with what permissions you give apps. If a mobile game asks you for permissions with no explanation as to why it wants them, stay safe and don't allow the app to install. Even innocent services like Android accessibility services can be used to hack you. Finally, never install banking apps from third-party sites, as they're more likely to contain malware. While official app stores are by no means perfect, they're a lot safer than a random website on the internet. The second common way hackers use is phishing. As the public becomes savvy toward phishing tactics, hackers have escalated their efforts to trick people into clicking their links. One of their nastiest tricks is hacking the email accounts of solicitors and sending phishing emails from a previously trusted address. What makes this hack so devastating is how hard it would be to spot the scam. The email address would be legitimate, and the hacker could even talk to you on a first-name basis. This is exactly how an unfortunate home buyer lost £67,000, despite replying to an email address that was previously legitimate. How to defend from phishing attacks. Obviously, if an email address looks suspicious, treat its contents with a healthy dose of skepticism. If the address looks legitimate, but something seems strange, see if you can validate the email with the person sending it. Preferably not over email though, in case the hackers have compromised the account. Hackers can also use phishing, among other methods, to steal your identity on social media. The third common method is keyloggers. This method of attack is one of the quieter ways a hacker can perform a bank account hack. Keyloggers are a type of malware that records what you're typing and sends the information back to the hacker. That might look strange, but imagine what would happen if you typed in your bank's web address, followed by your username and password. The hacker would have all the information they need to break into your account. So, how to defend against these attacks? Install a good antivirus and make sure it checks your system every so often. A good antivirus will sniff out a keylogger and erase it before it can do damage. If your bank supports two-factor authentication, be sure to enable this. This makes a keylogger far less effective, as the hacker won't be able to replicate the authentication code, even if they get your login details. The fourth method is man-in-the-middle attack. Sometimes a hacker will target the communications between you and your bank's website in order to get your details. These attacks are called man-in-the-middle (MITM) attacks, and the name says it all. It's when a hacker intercepts communications between you and a legitimate service. Usually, a MITM attack involves monitoring an insecure server and analyzing the data that passes through. When you send your login details over this network, the hackers sniff out your details and steal them. So, how do you defend against these sneaky man-in-the-middle attacks? Well, it's always recommended not to use public Wi-Fis, like those in restaurants or cafes. Through a compromised public Wi-Fi, hackers can install bots on your mobile device. These bots will steal all your information and send it back to their master. So always try to use mobile data instead. The fifth method is SIM swapping. SMS authentication codes are some of the biggest problems for hackers. Unfortunately, they have a way to dodge these checks, and they don't even need your phone to do it. To perform a SIM swap, a hacker contacts your network provider, claiming to be you. They state that they lost their phone and that they'd like a transfer of their old number, which is your current number, to their SIM card. If they're successful, the network provider strips your phone number from your SIM and installs it on the hacker's SIM instead. Once they have your number on their SIM card, they can get SMS codes easily. When they log into your bank account, the bank sends an SMS verification code to their phone rather than yours. They can then log into your account unimpeded and take the money. How to defend from SIM swapping. Of course, mobile networks typically ask questions to check if the person requesting the transfer is who they say they are. As such, to perform a SIM swap, scammers typically harvest your personal information in order to pass the checks. Even then, some network providers have lazy checks for SIM transfers, which has allowed hackers to easily perform this trick. Always keep your personal details private to avoid someone stealing your identity. Also, it's worth checking if your mobile provider is doing their part to defend you from SIM swapping. So, in short, how do you protect yourself from these attacks? Always download apps from official app stores, like Google Play Store or Apple App Store. Be cautious of unsolicited messages or emails asking for personal information. Use multi-factor authentication wherever possible. Keep your device's software up to date to protect against known vulnerabilities. Use a reputable mobile security app to detect and block malware. Avoid public Wi-Fi for banking and use a VPN if necessary. Understanding these threats and staying vigilant can help users protect their banking credentials from these increasingly sophisticated attacks.